Hey budget gardeners, Vita Loca here. Join me today as we sow some petunia seeds. So let's go. I live in New Hampshire. I garden in USDA Zone 5B, and my expected average last frost date is around May 15th. Today is February 21st, and I'm about 12 weeks away from my average last frost date. I'm trying to be careful and not get ahead of myself by starting too many seeds too early. I like to count backwards from my average last frost date, and then I like to research my seeds and start my seeds based on what the package says. I've found that if you start your plants way too early, sometimes it's actually not good for the plant. It doesn't thrive. So it's always important to research what seeds you're starting when, and also to know your average last frost date. When it comes to starting petunia seeds, there's a little bit of discrepancy. Some places will tell you 8 to 10 weeks. Other places will tell you 10 to 12 weeks before your last frost date. Well, I'm 12 weeks before my date. I'm starting them a little early, but the reason is I'm planning to pinch back my petunias a few times. I want them to be bushier plants, and when you pinch back plants, it actually sets back the blooming by a few weeks. That's why I'm starting them this early. If you don't know what your average last frost date is, you can either do a Google search by entering in your location and putting in what is my average last frost date, or you can go to the website down below, enter in your zip code, and it should tell you pretty accurately what your average last frost date is. There's also a map on there, and the map seems to be a little more accurate. Now remember, when it comes to seed starting, you're not looking necessarily at your zone. The zone does matter, but the zone is more important with knowing which perennials will survive where you live. It really is important to know your last frost date when seed starting. I love petunias, and to be honest with you, it's been a number of years since I've started them from seed. It's very easy to collect the seeds from petunias. In fact, I've collected seeds in the past, and the seeds are tiny. I've made videos showing my process for collecting petunia seeds, and I'll link that video down below. It takes petunia seeds anywhere from 1 to 2 weeks to germinate. I've planted petunias in different areas of my yard, but they are usually in some sort of a pot or a container. I enjoy the fact that they come in a lot of different colors. In fact, a number of years ago, I grew some really interesting and unique looking petunias from seed, and I planted those out on my back porch. So depending on how my petunias perform this year, I may be buying some interesting petunia seeds for me to grow next year. Depending on the variety of petunias that you're growing from seed, the days to maturity can be anywhere from 70 to up to 105 days. And that's why I wanted to start my seeds a little bit on the earlier side, because it can take anywhere from 10 to 14 weeks for the plants to actually bloom. Okay, so let's go ahead and sow some petunia seeds together. These are petunias that I got from Dollar Tree. That's a great place to get seeds for cheap, especially if you're on a budget or if you're new to gardening. I highly recommend getting seeds from there. They're 4 for $1, and you get so many seeds in a seed packet. Now, I winter sowed some of the seeds already from the seed packet. It'll be a good experiment to see which of the seeds do better, winter sowing or starting them indoors. And that's what it says on the back. One of you had mentioned to me, and I thought this was very interesting, it shows a height of 6 feet. I have to imagine that's a typo because it is a dwarf bedding variety of petunia. I'm imagining it should have said 6 inches. And then these seed packets right here are just seeds that I collected over the last few years. So we're going to be sowing those as well. Here I have some seed starting mix. I like to make my own seed starting mix, and I'll put a link to a video down in the description. It's basically 2 parts of peat moss, but you can use cocoa coir, to 1 part of very fine vermiculite. And then I add a small pinch of dolomite lime, which helps offset the pH of the peat moss. I also poured boiling hot water on my seed starting mix. You want to use pre-moistened seed starting mix, but also the boiling hot water helps kill any possible fungus gnat eggs that might be in here. When I squeeze my seed starting mix, notice there's no water dripping out. But when I let go, it's holding its form, and that's the right consistency that you want for your seed starting or potting mix. The reason why I like to use seed starting mix when starting my petunia seeds is because the seed starting mix is definitely a lot fluffier, a lot lighter than potting mix, and I want my small seeds to have a better chance of germination. However, once I pot up my petunia plants, I will move them into potting mix. I like to use restaurant takeout containers because honestly they're free to me and they make wonderful little greenhouses. In fact, this one has little vent holes in it, which is wonderful because in case it gets too hot in there. And I did make holes in the bottom of the container because you want to bottom water your seedlings. You don't ever want to water them from above because that can introduce all sorts of problems. So I'm going to go ahead and add my seed starting mix to my container. And now I'm going to press on the seed starting mix. I want to take out any air pockets that might be in there. I don't want to press too hard because I don't want to compact the seed starting mix too much. When it comes to seed starting, I do like to use garden markers because I find that they don't wear off as easily as a pen or a Sharpie. When starting seeds, it's a good habit to label. I'm just using small little labels that I had on hand, but you can use whatever you want. It's always a good idea to also put the date that you start your seeds, especially if you're trying to keep track of it for record keeping, like in a spreadsheet. That's what I do so that the following years I can look back and see if I should adjust those dates and start seeds earlier or later. So I've gone ahead and added the labels to my container, and then I just added some dividers so that I know which seeds are where. These are the Dollar Tree seeds, and you can see there are a lot of seeds there. I already sowed a whole bunch from that packet, and I'm going to sow the rest of them today. If all of these seeds germinate, that's perfectly fine. I can always find a home for the plants. I've been multi-sowing my seeds for years now, and that just means sowing the seeds pretty thickly in a container like this. You don't have to do this. If you want to, you can sow your seeds in some sort of a 6-cell pack or whatever type of container that you have readily available or that you feel comfortable with. Doing it this way absolutely is a little bit more work going forward. Right now it's easy, but as the seeds start germinating, I will have to prick out the plants and I will have to bump them up into small little 6-cell packs. I enjoy that process, but I get it. That process is not for everyone. And I know that I am sowing these very, very thickly, but I'm okay with that. I plan on pricking the plants out once they have at least their first set of true leaves. Next, I'm going to go ahead and I want to press the seeds in. I want the seeds to make good contact with the soil. The rest of the seed packets don't appear to have a ton of seeds in them. And because there isn't too much of the non-seed material, I'm not going to bother separating them. If you wanted to do that, you could use something like a kitchen strainer with a bowl beneath it and separate the seeds from the non-seed material. You can't do that with every single seed that you collect, but you could definitely do that with the petunia seeds. And since I collected these seeds, there is no guarantee that they were all going to create the same looking plants. It'll be a fun surprise, and I'll show you definitely when they start blooming what they all look like. Whenever you collect your own seeds, if you collect the seeds from an open pollinated or an heirloom plant, be it flower or vegetable, then the plant that gets created from those seeds that you collected should come true to the parent plant. However, if you collect your seeds from a hybrid plant, then the chances are pretty high that the plants that get created from the seeds you collect will not look identical to the parent. We'll go ahead and we're going to press those seeds in now. And now we have one that it says basically the center was a cream color and the edge was more of a grape color. I collected these from my friend Linda's house. She lives close by to me. And again, we're going to sow all the seeds. And boy, oh boy, if they all germinate, we're in trouble. And I'm just going to sow those right over here. What I may end up doing is doing little garden chats where I talk about a certain topic while I'm potting up plants this winter. I think that would be fun. There are a lot of topics to talk about that I want to share. And that way when I'm potting up plants, I don't feel like I'm just sitting by myself potting up plants. I'm actually thinking about and talking about some interesting topics that I think you would be interested in. And we're going to press those seeds in. And the final seed we're going to sow, it had a dark purple center to it, and then around the trim it was a cream color, and I got it from a park close to my house. And there were a lot of seeds in there. Again, I'm just basically, I don't want to say I'm trying to get rid of my seeds, but I guess I am, because I want to see how they all do. And then, but like I said, next year I can definitely collect more seeds, but I'd also like to buy some petunia seeds if I have good luck with these this year. As some of you know, I have a lot of shade where I live. And I think that's one of the reasons why I don't grow a ton of petunias in my yard. I grow a lot of impatiens, a lot of begonias and coleus, plants that do better in shade. But I do have pockets of sun in my yard, and that's why I grow petunias in pots, so I can place those pots in those sunny pockets. And one thing I've never been good about when it comes to petunias is pinching them back during the season as they get leggy. I find that they start to look almost scraggly, and I don't like that look. So one of my goals for this year, should these plants do well, is I want to be better about fertilizing them pinching them back, deadheading, all the things that you should be doing with petunias that you start from seed. And the final pressing in of the seeds into the seed starting mix. And I'm just going to use this small hand pump sprayer. I like to add a little additional water on top of the seeds just so that they really press into the seed starting mix and have a better chance of germination. I'm just lightly going to mist the top layer of the seeds. I want to make sure that they're nice and wet. Now I'm going to place the cover. Notice it's clear, so this cover acts as a humidity dome. And because it's clear, it allows light to come in. After all, the petunia seeds need light to germinate, but also it keeps the moisture in there and it keeps it a little bit more humid, which is a perfect environment for those seeds to grow in. Now, if you don't have a restaurant takeout container or you're doing seed starting in something like 6 cell packs, you can also add a larger humidity dome. You could also use something as simple as clear plastic wrap and put that over your cell packs. Now I'm placing the restaurant takeout container on a seedling heat mat which stays on 24 hours a day in order to get the 70 to 75 degree Fahrenheit range. And notice I have my grow lights here. These are turned on 16 hours a day from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. Remember, be patient. It might take 2 to 3 weeks to see some sort of germination. Once I see good germination, I will remove this container off of the heat mat, but I'll make sure that they're still under the grow lights because they will need that nice strong light. Thinning out and potting up will be done as soon as I have my first set of true leaves. As you wait for your petunia seeds to germinate, you don't want the seeds to dry out. And seeing that they're surface sown, it's important to keep the seeds moist. You can do that by covering them with a light layer of vermiculite, or you can spray the top of them with water. And since I'm going to be keeping my tray on a seedling heat mat, the heat mat dries the soil out quite quickly. So I'll be monitoring the moisture, and if I need to spritz it, I'll definitely do that. However, once the seedlings start appearing, I will definitely start bottom watering from there on out. Be on the lookout for videos where I'll be updating you on when the seeds have germinated, my process for potting up the seedlings, fertilizing them, pinching them back, and then planting them out in the landscape. I love hearing from you, so please let me know if you've ever started petunias from seed. And if so, what were some of your favorite varieties? And until the next video, make it a great day with gardening.